Hello everyone, welcome to Computer Science and IT Gate Coaching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the instant notification of my free lecture. So this is about me. I am a computer science gate faculty having more than 5 plus of teaching experience, mentored more than 50,000 students, taught in different coaching institute all over India. Okay, it's like the Gate Academy, even qualified multiple times Gate. And even I have given the coaching in many government colleges as well as in many private colleges. Like in SRM Chennai, I have given coaching. CAT Bhubaneswar, I have given. BC Bhagalpur, Jorhat College of Engineering, Guwahati University, Dibrugarh University, Government College of Engineering and Technology, Jammu, Ramgarh Engineering College. Okay, these are the colleges where I have went and I have given the coaching. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see heap. So, we are going to see heap. We are going to learn introduction to heap. Okay, we are going to see heap. Now, why we are going to learn this heap data structure? Okay, because now I will take an example like data structure. I am here taking data structure. So let's take unsorted data structure. Here unsorted. Okay, unsorted. Here is your unsorted array. You are doing here insert, search, find, mean, and the next operation is your delete mean. Okay, delete mean, that you are going to do here. We are going to do here delete mean. So for unsorted array insertion, you want to do insertion, how much time it is going to take? Since it is a unsorted, you can insert in anywhere. Unsorted array, okay, means it is like no sort order is mentioned, like here 5, 1, 2, 3. So you can insert after, like after this, if n is your 4, then after that you can insert in fifth position. So you can insert anywhere. So it's unsorted. You can insert after the array, after at the last position. So insertion is going to take big of one. Now, if you want to search the any element, now in this, if you want to search any element, it is unsorted. You have to linearly search. Linearly, here you search, then here, then here, then here, then here. So linear wise, linear you have to search. Then you have to trace or visit the every node. So here total node is n. So you are going to take the time complexity as big of n. Okay. Similarly, if you want to find mean, you have to traverse all the elements of the array. So again, it's going to take big of n. After finding, if you want to delete, after finding, if you find some element, then what you have to do? The finding is going to take big of n. After deletion, like you have find this element, you have find this is the mean. Let us assume your array is like 1, 2, 5, 11, 10, then 3, like this. You find the mean is here. So you have deleted one, you have deleted one, you delete one. Now after deleting one, you have to move this element to here, one position, one position. Okay, so here 2 you will get, then 5, then 13. So the to finding the mean, it will take big of n, and even to move the element, then again it is going to take move is big of n, because in worst case you have to move n minus 1, n minus 1. Okay, in worst case you have to move big of n minus 1, and which is going to your big of n minus 1. So in asymptotic wise, it is going to your big of n. Okay, so for searching, it is going to take big of n. When you want to search any minimum element, to search if minimum element is in the beginning, then you have to move all the remaining n minus element one step ahead, one left move you have to do. Okay, so for deletion, it is going to take big of n, and for searching, it is again going to take big of n. So this is for deletion. Okay, for searching mean, No need to write. I have shown you. Okay. So this is the case in unsorted. You are going to get big O of n. Okay. This is the case in unsorted. Now, if I'll give you in sorted array, and this sorted array is in non-decreasing order. Non-decreasing order. It is in non-decreasing order. Okay. So in non-decreasing order means it will be in the number should be either in increasing order or it will have the same value. Now see in sorted array. So in sorted array, now to insert a element, you have to find its position. You have to find its position where where you want to insert, because it should be in order. It should be in sorted. After insertion, it should be also in sorted array. It should be also in sorted array. Like if you are having some array, 1, 2, 5, 4, 5. So you have to find the position where you want to insert. Where you want to insert. So if you want to insert 3, so you got that 3 should be here. 3 should be here. Okay, 3 should be here. So you have to do like binary search. You have to find after means you have to do something, so that you need to find the position. So you find the position, then after finding the position you have to shift. You need to create one position. You need to create one space for that. One space for that. So you got that after 2 the 3 is going to be there. The 3 is going to be. So you what you're doing, what doing one move like 3, then 5. One move you are doing. One move you are doing. Now here it was 4. Here it was 4. So you are creating a space. Okay, you are creating a space. Here you got like this. Now take another example. If you are having some element like this, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like this it is there. Now you want to insert. Now if you want to insert one. Now if you want to insert one, then you need to move all these element to one step right, so that you get one cell in the beginning, and here you can insert one. So what can happen to find the position? It will take some time. Let us assume it's taking log n, but in worst case you have to move all the n minus 1 element, so it is going to take v of n. So in unsorted array, the time complexity to insert an element, it is good. Sorry, in sorted array, it should be in big O of n, because for finding the position it can take log n, then plus n. So you can modify the binary search in such a way that you find the position. Okay, you have to modify it, not directly you can implement. So overall it is going to take big O of n. Overall it is going to take big O of n. So to insert an element in a sorted array, it is going to take big O of n. Okay. Now for search. Now for search. Now since it is a sorted array, now if you want to search, you can apply binary search. It will take your log n. So search is going to take log n. Now if you want to find mean, it is a non-increasing order. So in the first position is going to be the minimum element only, because it is a non-increasing order. So first element is the mean, big of 1. Now here it's delete mean. So after finding mean, you have to delete the n. So after finding the mean value, you have to move the remaining, like you have deleted this one. Okay, let us assume this. You have deleted this. Then this place will become vacant. So you have to move all the n minus 1 one step ahead. So for movement, it will take big O of n. Okay. So for shifting, why we are requiring this? For shifting the the last n minus 1 element. For shifting the last n minus 1 element. Okay, understood. So for data structure, if it is an unsorted array, then you can insert anywhere. It is not going to affect because it is unsorted. We go of 1. For search, since it is unsorted, you have to search linearly. Okay, to search any element, it's going to take big O of log n. Now to find mean, you have to again search linearly because it's unsorted, big O of n. Now after finding the mean, you have to delete. So for finding it is going to be big O of n. Now you want to delete. Now if you are deleting, then you have to do movement. Okay, for movement also, after deleting you will get one space vacant, so you have need to move the remaining element. So in worst case you have to move n minus 1 element, so it is going to take big O of n. Now for sorted array, insertion is going to take big O of n, because first you have to find the position where you want to insert. Here you can't insert in anywhere because it is sorted array. You need to maintain the property of this array, that it should be in sorted. So you have to find the position. So you can modify the binary search and it will going to take big of log n. Then after the search, you need to move the some. In worst case, you have to move all the element and you have to create one space like you all the remaining that like this. Initially you have to move all the element like this. You have to create one element, one space for that. So insertion is going to take big of n. Now search, since it is sorted array, you can apply linear binary search. Sorted, you can apply, so log n. Now find mean, since it is sorted in a non-decreasing order, so minimum will be find in constant time because first element is going to the minimum. So after minimum, if I'll ask you to delete mean, so again you have to shift the last n minus 1 element. So it is overall it is going to be big of n, because after deleting the mean, the first element, you have to move the remaining n minus 1 element ahead, one cell ahead. Okay. Now this we have seen for unsorted and sorted. Now we will see for now we will see for unsorted linked list. Unsorted linked list. Now for insertion, how much time it is going to take? Since it is a linked list, you can insert in anywhere. It is going to take constant time. Linked list, you find the in linked list you find the this node if you want to insert. So it will have the address of this like you temp as a temp. Then if you want to insert anywhere, let us assume after this pointer p, if you want to insert, then what you can do, p next, see temp next you will do, temp next, this is the next, temp next you will do, temp next is going to do, see it is a linked list. So since when they are saying linked list, so you assume as a single linked list. Okay, you assume as a single linked list. So in case of single linked list, how it will look like, it will have the data part and the next pointer and the next pointer. Okay, it's a single linked list, data part, next pointer. So this temp you want to insert. Now if you want to insert in some after this pointer p, okay, so its address is having in p, it is having the data and it is having the next pointer, it is having the next pointer. So what you can do now, this you want to insert after, it was like this, it was like this, it is having, okay, now you want to insert this after this p temp node, you want to insert after this. What you can do, you can point p next, this is the p, then point p next. See how you can do, this is p, you can make p next is equal to 10. Okay, not, we should not make p next first 10, there is a problem. Okay, see what will happen if I make p next equal to 10, if, because after this temp next should point to this. Now p next will point to temp, it will directly point to temp, it will directly point to temp, this. So it will get removed, this will get, if we'll directly do this, then this will get disconnected. Now how this temp will point to next, this, how it can point, you will not able to, because this next is now temp. Okay, so what we should do first, we should make, first we should make, and this, in this way they have asked in your gate also, this is this type of question, it is even in your gate previous year question. Okay, so temp next first should be your p next. Okay, p next, so that p next is this, it is going to your temp next. So p next is your this is going to your next. Now p next is going to your temp. Now p next, that p next is going to your temp, is going to your temp. See, you have inserted, going to it. Okay, p next is now your temp. Okay, now temp next, that we have did. So first temp next we will make p next. So see, you are taking only constant time. So in to insert in an unsorted linked list, it is going to take big of n. Now to search, now if you want to search, you have to search all the element. Okay, so linearly you have to do, because it's unsorted linked list, you are going to take big of n. Now find mean is also going to your big of mean, big of log n, sorry n, big of n, because minimum you, again you have to search all the element. Now now if you want to do unsorted in unsorted linked list, now if you want to do that, after that it is delete mean. So finding mean is going to take big of 1. Now after that you have to just do this, finding mean is going to take big of n. after finding mean, you can delete that element in a constant time. You can delete that element in a constant time. Let us assume it is having, let us assume it is having p, q, r. Okay, now you want to delete q. If you want to delete q, how you can delete? Say it will like this. Simply you can use some temp is equal to q. Now p next is going to your r. P next is going to your r. Okay, p next is going to your r, and okay, p next is going to r. Now p is going to point. P is now, is going to pin. Uh, is now going to point r, and you can free. So this is one way you can do. You can delete. Okay, if it is PQR, other way is also there. Okay. You have directly point here. See other way, if they have not given the pointer r, if they have not given the pointer r. Okay, let us assume they have not given you the pointer r. So let us assume if they have given like this. If they have given like this, it is P, it is Q, it is D, it is Q, and they have not given this. Okay. So how you can delete this Q? How you can delete this Q? The pointer Q, the node Q. So what you can do, you make P next is equal to first Q next. So Q next is your this, Q next is your this. So now P next is pointing to here. Is pointing to here. Okay. Now it's no more pointing to here. Now you can delete Q. Now you can delete Q. So both way you can delete. So you can free. Free Q is going to deallocate the memory that is got for Q. Okay, like this. So this will get deleted. So finding mean is going to take big of n, but deletion is going to take constant, because after that only you can, since it is a pointer, you can go to that pointer and you can move like next you can do. So it is going to take big of n. Okay. Now heap, or here I am assuming mean heap. Now in mean heap is a data structure where minimum will, it's like tree. Mean heap is a complete binary tree where the node will have the minimum value. Okay, where node is always going to have the minimum value. So it's a tree only, and where node is always having the minimum value, like 1, 2, 3. The node is having the minimum value. It's a mean heap. Okay. Now in mean heap, to insert an element, we will show you. It's going to take log n. To insert, it is going to take log n. For searching, it is going to take big of n, and to find mean, it is going to take big of 1. Okay, because root is going to be the minimum, and to delete mean, it is going to take log n. To delete mean, it is going to take log n. Okay, so this mean heap or heap we are using whenever we want to perform the property, like whenever we want to perform the operation like insert, find mean, and delete mean. Not for searching it is used. So see, you can see here. So for insertion, it is going to take some big of one, then delete mean is going to take big of n, find mean is going to take big of n, here also big of n, big of n. So that's why your heap is used when you want to perform. See, it is small, it is small. So whenever you want to do your insertion, finding mean, and deleting mean, then we go for the data structure meaning. See, I have told you that sometimes we will choose which data structure is suitable for which algorithm. So if your some algorithm is continuously doing doing insertion and finding the minimum and deleting the minimum, then you should choose the heap meaning. Okay, so there we are going to use meaning. Okay, so you have to choose according to the algorithm. If your algorithm is doing more operation, more insert operation, more insert operation, more find operation, more delete operation, then you should go for mean heap. Okay. So heap take less time. Heap take heap takes less time, less time for insertion. Heap take less time for insertion, finding insertion, finding minimum, and delete, minimum. Okay. So that's why this data structure, this data structure, that's why this data structure is used where we need, where we need insertion. So we are going to use this data structure only where we use insertion, finding minimum for minim, finding minimum, and deleting, deleting minimum, and deleting minimum. Okay. So I have taken sorted array, and unsorted linked list and mean heap. So we have seen that the mean heap is giving the best performance in case of insertion when someone is doing insertion, find mean and delete mean. Okay, because if you see in unsorted array, delete mean is going to take big of n. For a sorted array, it's going to take big of n. Then for unsorted also it is going to big of n. So delete mean is always taking big of n, but in case of mean heap it was taking log n. Okay, it was like taking log n. So overall if you see the best performance will be given by mean heap. Okay, now we will see what is heap. Okay, so why we are learning heap? Because heap give a very good performance whenever any algorithm is doing more insert operation, more find mean operation, more delete mean operation. Okay, just a minute. So that's why we study heap. What is heap? Now, a heap is a tree. A heap is a tree with 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 some special property. Heap is a tree with some special properties. Heap is a tree with some special properties. The basic requirement, the basic requirement of a heap is is that that the value of a node must be either greater than equal or smaller than equal to the value of its children, to the value of its children. Okay. So heap is a tree with some special properties. Okay, so it is a tree only which is going to have some special property. The basic requirement of heap is that the value of a node must be either greater than equal to or smaller than equal to the value of its children. So either it is going to be greater than equal to or smaller than equal to, either it will be greater only or smaller from all its children. So even descendant, okay, even descendant also. So from every element, so root should if it is a max heap, then root should be the maximum element in whole tree. Okay, this is called this is called this is called heap property. This is called heap property. A heap. This is called a heap property. A heap also has the additional property. Heap also has the additional properties. A heap also have the additional property that all leaves all leaves should all leaves should be at height h or h minus 1, where where h is the height of tree. So you know that it is saying that it is also having one property, that all the leaves should be at height h or h minus 1. So this property is for which tree? It's a complete binary tree. Means a heap is a complete binary tree. Okay, where h is a or for some because this property satisfies in complete binary tree. Okay, for some h greater than 0, so that means heap heap should be that means heap should be that means heap should be that means heap should form heap should form a complete binary tree. Then heap should form a complete binary heap should form a complete binary. Okay, so you can pause the video and you can write it. So this we have given. What is a heap? A heap is a tree with some special property. It is going to have some special property. So the basic requirement of heap is that the value of a node must be greater than equal to or smaller than equal to, either greater than equal or smaller than equal to the, see, either I am saying, not both condition, to the value of its children, and this is called heap property. Another additional properties it's required that all leaves should be at height h or h minus 1, and this property will be satisfied when it is a complete binary tree. So it means a heap is a complete binary tree. Okay, it means a heap is a complete binary tree. So example, what is a heap? So it is a heap if your tree is like the heap, because it's a complete binary tree. This is a heap, this is a heap. This way you can construct left right. You know that it should be a incomplete binary tree, it should also follow the sequence. So left, it should have left child, it like this is not a complete binary tree. I have taught you these things because its sequence should come from top to down, left to right. So first left child, then right child. Okay, not haphazardly. Complete binary tree, not complete binary tree. Okay, like this. This is also a not complete binary tree. This is also not a complete binary tree. Okay, why? Because it is having left right, but it is not having left child, it is have right child. So it should like this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, then this, like it will go. Okay, top to down, left to right, like, okay, in a sequence way. So it's a complete binary. Now we are going to see max heap. Okay, now what is max heap? Max heap always have the maximum element in the root. Okay, a right, a max heap is a complete binary tree, is a complete binary tree, is a complete binary tree where the root, is maximum, where the root is maximum. The root is going to be maximum. Example, 100 means always the parent is going to be maximum. 100, it's maximum. Let me give this 20, 1, 4, then 3. See, it is maximum to all its children. Yeah, 10 is maximum to all, yes, 20. So it's a max, it should be. And leaf is always going to be heap. Leaf is always going to be heap because it is not having any child. It is maximum only. Okay, so it's a max. You can give a note and write leaf. Okay, that I will write later. Now write mean heap. Mean heap. In mean heap is a complete mean heap is a complete binary tree. Mean heap is a complete binary tree. Mean heap is a complete binary tree where the root must be where the root must be smaller. So here root is going to be smaller, then it is going to your mean heap. Okay, so like example, 1, 10, 20, here 100, here 200. See, this is meaning, this is, it is smaller than their children. it is smaller because no child is there. Now 10 20 is there, it is smaller than. Okay, so you see from the leaf node. Okay, from here you start, then you will get it. So it means root root element root element root element should be smaller than all the elements. Root elements should be smaller than all the elements present present in the present in the left subtree present in the left subtrees, as well as right subtree, right. Okay. So it means root element should be smaller than all the elements present in left subtree as well as right subtree. So root element should be smaller than all the elements present in left subtree as well as a right subtree. Okay. So you can write it. So you can give a note and you can write a leaf node is always a heap. Leaf node is always a heap. It will always satisfy the heap properties, either a max heap or mean heap. It will satisfy because it is not having any child. Okay. So a leaf node is always, you can say a leaf node is always satisfying heap property. Leaf node is always you can say that a leaf node is always a heap. You can say that a leaf node is always a heap. Now how to store heap? Okay. Now how to store? Now to store heap, we are using array. We are using array. Okay. So you can say that, sir, to store heap you are using array, and in array it is a static. It is going to have a static memory allocation. You can go to linked list. So what happen if you go for linked list? Then from linked list you have to construct. Uh, you can construct, see, from linked list you have to go to tree. Then from tree you have to make as a max heap or min heap. Okay, that is going to take lot of space. See, if you will go for linked list instead of array, then from linked list you have to then convert it into tree, then you have to convert it into heap. So that is going to take lot of space. But if we use a store the that heap in a array, then it is going to be useful. Okay, now why it is going to be useful, I will explain you. Because a heap is always a complete binary tree, like if element is here, if element some element is here, then here it will have, then here it will have, then here it will have. So here you are going to you store this like by index 1, index 1, index 2, then index 3, then index 4, then index 5, then index 6, then index 7, like this. So index by you make its index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5, like this. You store the element like 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You can insert 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, like this. You can insert in the array. So if you can insert, since it is a array, you can use to store heap as array, because heap is a complete binary tree. Since it is a complete binary tree, there will be no vestige of storage, because it is going to follow the sequence that first left child will have, then left right child, then again in the second, in the next, then again left child, then right child. So if a root is there, then it will have the left child, then the right child, then again it will have the all the child, then this will have all the child, like this. Then again this should have the child, then this should have the child, left child, then right child. So in this way it is not going to waste any storage, because you can use as a index this to store as index 1, this to store as index 2, this to index 3, this as 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10, then 11, like this. So any complete binary tree can be stored is, so any. And we are having also the advantage, just like if this is the index, then what is going to be the left subtree, what is the index of left child, or what is the index of right child? It is easy, because if index is 1, see 2 into L is going to give you the index of left child, and 2 into L plus 1 is going to your 2 into I. This is the I, this is the index. 2 into I, 2. 2 into I plus 1, 3. See, right child. See here, it's left child index 2 into 2, 4, and plus 1 is 5. So if we'll use the array to store the complete binary tree, then even to fetch his left child, to know the left child index, to know the right child index, it is easy. And even to know the parent, like 6 is there, you can do floor index by 2. If you do the index by 2, you are going to get the index of a parent, like 6 by 2. You are going to get 3. This is the floor, you are going to get 3. Like 7 by 2, it's going to your 3.5, is the floor, 3.5, and 3.5 floor is going to your 3. So by this, if you are storing the complete binary tree in an array, then also to fetch its parents or go to the left child index or right child index, it is easy. Okay, instead of a linked list. So it is going to be advantage. So any complete binary tree, any complete binary tree, any complete binary tree can be stored, can be stored in array, can be stored in array. Any complete binary tree can be stored in an array. Okay, in an array. So to construct max heap, to construct max heap, we take array to put data instead of linked list. To build instead to build linked list, then of tree, and from then from from tree to heap, because this will take lot of space. So this will take lot of storage, you can say. Okay, so you can pause it and you can write. Now, if you are storing the array in the complete binary in an array, then how to get the index of a left child, index of a right child? Okay, now we will write that. So we are first assuming that if the array starting index is 1, if the array starting index is 1, so if we are starting the array with index 1, then and left child index left child index of I is going to be 2 into I. Right child index of I is going to be 2 into I plus 1. And parent of a child of which you are asking is going to be the floor of index by 2. By this, if you do, then you are going to get the parent. Okay. Now, if the index has started with 1, then this is the formula. Now, if the array of the first element, if the array start with index 0, if the array start with index 0, then left child index of parent, first see index of parent is going to your, so this you have to remember. Okay, a seal of index by 2 minus 1. Generally we are going to see start with 1. Okay, left child index is going to your left child index, left child of ith element, left child of ith element is 2 into I plus 1. Here 2 into I plus 1. Right child of ith element is 2 into I plus 1, means 2 into I plus 2, 2 into I, 2 into I plus 2. Okay, now take an example, say, like this. So here index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this element is having index 4, 5, 6, 7. So its left child is your 2 into I plus 1, 2 into 0, 0, 0 plus 1, 1. And 2 into I plus 2 is the right child. See, 2 into 0 is 0 plus 2. This 2 into I is your 2 plus 1, 3, and plus 2 is your 4. Okay, now parent, 5 parent is your 5 by 2 floor of sorry seal minus 1. 5 by 2, it's 2.5, floor it's going 3 minus 1, 2. You are getting correct only. 6 by 2 is going to again 3, so like 7. 7 by 2, floor of that, sorry, seal of that minus 1, it's going to your 4, 4 minus 1, 3. You are getting correct. Okay, so this way you have to use. And even when we are, see, here we are doing only to find the left child and right child, we are doing only division by 2 or multiplication. So to find left child we are doing multiply by 2, and to find the parent we are doing the division. So multiplication and division is like left shift and right shift. Okay, so that's why, so left shift and right shift is bitwise operator. By this bitwise operator we can do, and even it will help in our implementation, so it will save our time. So multiplication with 2 is just a one left shift. Okay, so it's just a one left shift, and dividing by 2 it means right shift, one right shift. So by this we are even saving the means time. So it will help in implementation. So multiplying with 2 is left shift is one left shift, one left shift. Dividing with 2 is one right shift, is one right shift. So it can be easy to implement using array. So it can be easy. So we can do only left shift and right shift. So it can be easy. It can be easy to implement implement using array. It is going to be easy to implement. So finding left child. So finding left child, right child, finding left child, right child, and so finding left child, right child, and parent will take less time. So finding left child, right child, finding left child, right child, and parent will take less time. Will take less time. Okay. So this you can write. So we have seen that we are storing the heap in a array. Why we are storing a heap into a array? Because it is going to save in the memory, because a heap is a complete binary tree. So it is going to have the a complete binary tree will first have the left child, then the right child. So in this sequence we are not going to waste any memory. And we are not using linked list. Why we are not using linked list? Because from linked list we need to construct tree, then from tree we need to construct heap. Okay, that's why we are using array. So that is, if you will use linked list, it is going to take a lot of memory, lot of space. Okay, so we are going for array. Now in array, to find left child, right child, and parent is going to be easy, because if you are starting with index 1, left child is going to 2 into index, right child is going to 2 into index plus 1, and the parent is going to index by 2, floor of index by 2. See, floor of index by 2. If the array is starting with index 0, then index of the parent is going to seal by index by 2 minus 1. Left child index is going to 2 into I plus 1. Right child index is going to 2 into I plus 1. Okay, like this. So this way we are going to, and you know that multiplying with 2 is one shift, dividing with 2 is your right shift. So you are only to find the left child, right child and parent. We are doing multiply and divide by 2. So we can do left shift and right shift. Whenever we want to multiply, we can do left shift. So in implementation, it is going to be easy. Okay. So now I will give some array and you have to tell me whether it is a max heap or not. Okay. So an A length is going to be the number of element in the array, and A dot heap size. What is A dot heap size? Okay. What is A dot heap size? It is the number of element, number of nodes, number of nodes, number of nodes following, number of nodes follow heap property. Number of nodes follow heap property, that is called as heap size. Okay, number of nodes follow heap property is called as heap size. Okay. So now the first node I am giving you. So first node is your, the array is having they have given the array and they are asking you whether it is max heap or not. Okay, whether it is max heap or not. So given an array, check whether it is a max heap or not. Let me write, given a array, given an array, check whether, check whether it is a max heap or not. Check whether it is a max heap or not. Okay, so given an array, you have to check whether it is a max heap or not. So first array is having element 23, 12, 16, 13, 10, 8, 40. Index is having 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, 7. Index is starting from 1. Okay. So it will have first 23, then 12, then 16, then 7, then 13, then 10, then 8, then 14. So it is maximum. Yeah, it is maximum. Then 12 is maximum. No, 12 is not maximum. 12 is not maximum. So see, we will start seeing from left to right, top to down. Like this, we will go. Okay, left to right, top to down. So there only we find that 12 is not greater than 30. So it is not maxi. It is not maxi. And so A dot length is going to here. What is the length here? Array length is 7. And A dot heap size is going to your, A dot heap size is going to your 1 only, because this element is only following the heap property. See, in this sequence, if you will see that 16 is satisfying the property, but you will not consider 16, not 16, because you have the rule that it should go from left to right, top to down. So first 23, then you will check 12, then you will go to 16. If this will satisfy, then you can count this. Okay. So 16 you are not going to count because its left child is not following the heap property. Always traverse the tree that from top to down, left to right, top to down, left to right. Because you know that heap is going to have first left child, then right child. So even you see that left child is not following the heap property, you will stop there. You will stop there and you will say that is not a max heap. Then how many elements before that you have scanned, that is going to be the number of element which is following the heap property. Okay, so heap size is going to 1. You are not going to consider this. Okay. Now next in array it is having 25, 12, 16, 13, 10, 8, 14. So 25 will be here, then 12, then 16, then 13, then 10, then 8, then 14. Now see, 25 is maximum. Yeah, 12 is again, oh, again I have written the same, I think. Oh yeah, I have written the same. Let me change it. 25, 14, 16. I will make here 14. 14, 16, 13, 10, 8, here 12. Okay, I'm changing. So 14, it's 12. So here it will come 14. Here it will come 2. Now see, 25 is falling, yes. Then 14 maximum, yes. 10 maximum, yes. Okay, so it is following the heap property. So A dot length is going to your how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And A dot heap size is going to your A dot heap size is going to your 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So all the element. Okay. Now third one is having 25, 14, 13, 16, 10, 8, 12. Okay. So 25 here, then 14 here, then 13, then 16, then 10, then 8, then 12. So 25, is it greater from all its children? Yes. Then 14? No. Okay. So A dot length is going to your 1. Sorry, A dot length is going to 7 only. 3, 6, 7. A dot heap size is going to your A dot heap size is going to your 1. Okay. Now fourth example. We are going to take many 25, 14, 12, 13, 10, 8, 16. So 25 will be here, then 14, then 12, then 13, then 10, then 8, then 16. Okay, so 25, 14, 12, 13, 10, 8, 16. So it is maximum. Yeah, it is maximum. Now 14 is maximum. Yes, maximum. Now 12 is maximum. No, 12 is not maximum. So A dot heap size is going to your only 2, and A dot length is going to your 7. 4, 2, 6, 7. Okay. So fourth one done. 25, 14, 12, 13, 10, 8, 6. Now next is your fifth one is having element 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. So A dot length, array length is your 5. So heap size, we will check 14 whether it is a heap or not. 14, 13, then 12, then 10, then 8. So this is max heap. Yes, this is max heap. Yes, this is max heap. Yes, this is. So A dot heap size is going to your heap size. How many element following the heap property? 5. Okay, so heap size and heap length is same. Now 6. 6 is having element 14, 12, 13, 8, 10. Now 14 will be here, then 12, then 13, then 8, then 10. So A dot length is going to your 5, and A dot heap size is going to your 14 is greater, yes. 12 is greater, yes. 13 greater, yes. So 5. So 13 is greater from its children because no children is there. Okay. Now 7, 14, 13, 8, 12, 10. So first 14, then 13, then 8, then 12, then 10. So A dot length is going to your 5. Now A dot heap size. How many element in this array is following the heap property? 14 is following. It is 14 is maximum from all its children. Left children, left subtree and right subtree element. 13 is greater. 8 is greater. 12, 10. So 5. Now next one. So it was 14, 13, 8, 12, 10. Now I will make 14, 13, 14, 13, 12, 8, 10. See, I can have a, this is a maxi, this is also a maxi. Here 14, 12, 13. Here I'm just say you can have for a given number of element like for 14, 13, 8, 12, 10, 14, 8, 12, 13, 8, 10. You are having a more than one maxi. Okay, so if you are writing the element like for first 14, then 12, 13, 8, and then also it's a maxi. So out of some set of element, it can have more than one maxi. This is having one maxi when you are writing 14, 12, 13, 8, 10. Even when you are writing 14, 13, 8, 12, and then also you are getting a maxi. It means for a given set of a number, there may be more than one heap. Okay, so you write as a note. You write as a note for a given set of. So for a given set of number, there can be for a given set of number can be there can be more than one. There can be more than one heap. There can be more than one heap. Okay, there can be more than one heap. Now next is your 13. Now you take the number. So numbering is going to your 8. It is having 14, 13, 12, 8, 10. So first is going to your 14, then 13, 12, then 8, then 10. It is again following the heap property. So a dot length is going to your 5 and a dot heap size is going to your 5. All the element is satisfying the max property. Now last one, that is 9, having the element 89, 19, 40, 17, 12, 10, 2, 5, 7, 11, 6, 9, 7. First 89, then 19, then 40, then 17, then 12, then 10, then 2, then 5, then 7, then 11, then 6, then 9, then 70. So 89, 19, 40, 17, 12, 10, 2, 5, 7, 11, 6, 11, 6, 9, 70. So A dot length is going to your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's going to 13 element. Now A dot heap size. A dot heap size. So 89 is maximum, correct? Now 19, is it maximum? Yes, maximum. Now 40. No, 40 is not maximum. Here 70 is there. A dot heap size is 2. A dot heap size is 2. Okay. Now see here, one thing here. If I will write the number in increasing order like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you construct, if I give you some number, the max heap. So 1 first, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Okay, like this. You are going to get always a mean heap. See, always you are getting a mean heap. So whenever I will give the array in increasing order, you are going to get a mean heap. Okay. And when I will give you in a decreasing order, you are always going to get a max heap. So if the array is in ascending order, if the array, if the array, so it means you can say that the sorted array is always a heap. If the array is in ascending order, if the array is in ascending order, then then it is then it is always a then it is always a mean heap. Then it is always a mean heap. Okay, then it is always a mean heap. Now if the array like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, first 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Now it is in decreasing order. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is in decreasing order. So if it is in decreasing order, it is going to be always a max heap. So if the array is in decreasing order, the array is in decreasing order, then it is always a it is always a max heap. It is always a max heap. So it means the sorted array. It means it means the sorted array, either increasing or decreasing. The sorted array is always a heap. So it means the other sorted array is always a heap. I'm not saying it is a max or min. If they will say that it is a sorted array, then it is always a heap. It means the sorted array is always a heap. Okay. So this is the introduction. Now we will see the next part in our next lecture. Okay.